Welcome to Module 14 of our AI for Beginners video course. In this final module, we move beyond the basics of prompting to explore the essential topics of AI ethics and how to build a lasting career in the field of artificial intelligence. In the previous module, you learned to effectively prompt, choose, and verify AI tools. Now, we expand our view to understand responsible AI and what a professional career using these technologies looks like. This deep dive is organized into 5 distinct parts. Part 1 focuses on the core ethical questions surrounding AI. We have touched upon these topics throughout the course, but now it is time to examine them directly and in greater detail. First, we revisit bias and fairness. AI models trained on unrepresentative data can treat people unevenly, leading to real-world consequences in areas like hiring, lending, or healthcare. This is not a hypothetical concern, but a documented issue in many deployed systems. Next, we address privacy. Every prompt or document you share with an AI tool may be logged, stored, or used to improve future models. It is crucial to understand a tool's data policy before sharing sensitive or confidential information. We also cover the risks of misinformation and deepfakes. The same tools that help us be more productive can also generate realistic, yet entirely fabricated quotes, photos, and audio. Distinguishing fact from fiction has become a significantly greater challenge. Then there is the question of accountability. If an AI system causes harm, it is currently often unclear who is responsible: the developer, the company deploying the tool, or the individual user. This remains an active area of legal and policy development. Finally, remember that these ethical considerations are not just for developers. Anyone using AI tools shares responsibility for their outcomes. Thinking about ethics is a practical habit that should be part of your daily workflow. Moving into Part 2, we examine the bigger picture. Beyond the immediate output of an AI model, the rise of these technologies raises important questions about labor, resources, and ownership. When it comes to jobs, we see both displacement and change. Historically, technology creates new roles, even as it automates old ones. This transition is currently unfolding, and we must avoid the extremes of panic or blind optimism. We also have to consider the real cost of compute. Training and running large models consume significant amounts of energy and water for data centers. The environmental footprint of AI is a genuine cost that requires ongoing discussion. Another significant issue is the origin of training data. Many large models were trained on vast amounts of content without individual consent or compensation. These remain unresolved questions regarding ownership that are currently being litigated. Additionally, we see a concentration of power. The vast resources required to build cutting-edge AI models mean that only a few organizations currently have that capacity, which influences who controls these tools and whose interests they serve. Ultimately, holding these conflicting truths, that AI is both incredibly powerful and carries significant risks, is what being intellectually honest looks like. We must be able to consider both sides simultaneously. In Part 3, we turn our attention to responsible AI in practice, moving from general principles to the actual habits that define responsible use in your day-to-day work. Transparency is a key pillar of responsible AI. Being upfront when AI has helped you produce a draft, image, or code allows others to apply the appropriate level of scrutiny. It is an expectation in many professional settings, and it costs almost nothing to simply state. Human oversight is not optional. The most reliable safeguard is having a person review AI output before it is used. This practice is essential for catching the hallucinations, biases, and mistakes that we have discussed throughout this course. Organizations build responsibility into their systems through specific mechanisms, such as bias testing, clear usage policies, feedback channels, and mandatory human review for high-stakes decisions like lending or hiring. Responsible AI requires these concrete practices, not just good intentions. We are currently in a shifting regulatory landscape. Governments worldwide are actively drafting rules regarding AI transparency and risk-based restrictions. It is important to stay informed as these regulations develop, rather than treating any current set of rules as final. For your own work, keep a personal checklist. Before relying on AI output, ask yourself, do you understand the data source? Have you verified the facts? Is the recipient aware of AI involvement, and would you be comfortable explaining your choices later? These are simple, durable habits. We now move to Part 4. Career paths in AI. The field is far broader than just working at an AI laboratory, and understanding the true landscape of roles is the first step toward finding your own path. AI careers are diverse. A helpful way to frame the field is through 3 main categories: building the models, applying the models, and governing the models. These involve different skills and are all currently seeing growth. The builders are the machine learning engineers and researchers. They design and train the models themselves. This role typically requires a strong background in mathematics and programming, such as the Python and machine learning foundations we covered earlier. Applying is the largest and fastest growing category. This includes AI product managers, data analysts, and professionals in fields like marketing or operations who use AI tools to improve their existing work. For most people, this is where an AI career begins. The third category is governance. This includes roles like AI policy analysts, ethics researchers, and trust and safety teams. As regulation matures, there is an increasing demand for professionals who understand both the technology and its real-world impact. Finally, we are seeing the rise of entirely new roles like prompt engineers and AI evaluators. These positions are built around the practical skills we have explored in this course. The industry is constantly evolving and inventing new job titles. We move into our fifth and final part, getting started and building your own path. Here, we look at concrete next steps, regardless of your starting point. Remember that you don't need to choose just one lane. Building, applying, and governing often overlap. Professionals who combine technical skill with an understanding of business needs or ethics are often the most valuable members of a team. If you want to go the technical route, deepen your Python and machine learning foundations. Pursue more advanced coursework in mathematics, and focus on building real-world projects to demonstrate your abilities beyond simple descriptions. If you prefer an applied path, focus on becoming fluent with AI tools within your current industry. Identify a specific, concrete workflow you can improve. This kind of specialized fluency is a highly marketable skill across nearly every profession today. If you are interested in governance and ethics, you are targeting a specialized field that relies on the subjects covered in parts 1 through 3. Combining a background in law, policy, or philosophy with the technical literacy gained in this course is a rare and highly valuable combination in the current job market. Regardless of the path you choose, the most important habit you can develop is to remain a genuine learner. The field of AI moves rapidly, so you should constantly try new tools, research how they work behind the hype, and critically evaluate all claims, including those made in this course. Let's clear up some common misconceptions. AI ethics is not just for developers. Everyone using these tools is responsible for their impact. You also do not need a PhD to work in AI, as many roles focus on applying tools to existing fields. Finally, remember that AI regulation is still being written. It is time to pause and check your understanding. Consider these 4 questions regarding ethical concerns, safeguards, career paths, and practical steps. Take a moment to answer them in your own words before we reveal the answers. Here are the answers to the questions. We covered various ethical risks, identified human oversight as the primary safeguard for AI mistakes, summarized the 3 main career paths as building, applying, or governing, and noted that specialized fluency in your current industry is a great first step. As you move forward, keep these key terms in mind. From algorithmic bias and data provenance to trust and safety, AI policy, human oversight, and transparency, understanding this vocabulary will help you communicate effectively as you pursue your career. To recap this module, ethical challenges are very real. AI has significant costs. Human oversight is our best defense. Career paths exist in building, applying, and governing. And above all, staying a curious learner is your greatest long-term advantage. We have reached the end of our foundational modules. Up next is Module 15, where you will complete your capstone project. This is your opportunity to build something real from start to finish, applying everything you have learned throughout this course. You have built a solid foundation and are ready for what comes next. I look forward to seeing your work in the capstone project. See you in the next module.